I wanted to tell you guys where I started, what I learned, and I guess maybe some of the mistakes that I made along the way and some of the mistakes I think other people make when they're on their YouTube quest. I cried to my wife when I got it. She was the first person I wanted to open it with. YouTube gaming videos aren't the first thing I've created. When I was fighting in Chicago, I made a fight blog, but I learned that I wasn't a writer. I'm 30 years old and my grammar's still terrible. It's something I'm probably not going to spend time learning. That's okay. After I did a fight blog, made a vlog. I had a different YouTube channel that you guys have never seen, and nor is it up. And I made a vlog every day for like a year. Or not every day, but like a week for a year before I realized it wasn't for me. And then I had a fight Instagram where I would teach people how to wrestle for mixed martial arts. But that wasn't it either. Then I had a podcast for almost a year. I did a lot of stuff. I created a lot of things. And there's two things that I learned that I think are important. I think they're important for anybody that's already successful or for people that are still learning. And one thing that I always say to everybody is because you get negative people in the comments, right? Like we already had some this morning. That's just something that we have to persevere through, is we all start from zero. If I went to go teach an MMA class, if I were to teach somebody something in wrestling, I would tell them that like, I'll start from zero. I also sucked at one time. Right? I don't think, I was talking to my wife about that this morning. I don't think people, one, give something enough time it deserves to realize that they actually hate it. Because if you got good at something, you might do it longer than you think. But also, on a second note, I don't think people quit enough things. I don't think they try enough things. I don't think they sample the buffet enough. I just talked about 7 things that I tried and I quit at. I don't think people are too scared to put themselves out there and then say they quit something. And I've failed at so many things. I think the people who you look at and you think that they're successful, I think that you think more of them than they think of themselves, because I talk crap to people when I play Call of Duty and I might seem like a very confident guy, but I've lost so much in my life. And loss first started happening when I was a kid. I had lost my first high school year in wrestling. I lost 20 matches and I got pinned 19 times. This is going to create a segue for us in this conversation. My sophomore year, I got tired of getting my ass kicked. I was the worst on the team. And there came a time when I said, I'm going to start swearing here. So if you have your kids on the line, I'll bleep this out in the video. I got tired of getting my ass kicked. And one day I'm in practice and this dude who's been kicking my ass for a year, I said, no, I'm tired of this dude beating the shit out of me every day. And I said no. And I started fighting. Like I found this strength in my body because I gave something enough time it deserved, to where like you do something long enough and you suck at something long enough, you don't want to get your kicked every day. It's exhausting having somebody shove your head in the floor every day and you just decide not to get up. You know what I mean? And so that segues me to the YouTube stuff, man. And I want to talk about how that translates to YouTube. And when I started making YouTube videos, and I'll talk about the mistake that I made. I quit a job. So I was a real estate agent in Chicago for 5 years. And I made more money doing that than I've ever made in my whole life. And I quit my career in real estate, and months later, I started making YouTube videos and working part-time in a cheese factory. Close friends, family members probably thought I was a psychopath. You leave a career where you're making more money, you're getting residual customers, and life is good. To go work in a cheese factory part-time because it gives you the hours and just enough money to where you could spend your whole time making videos that nobody will ever see. And I didn't owe anybody an explanation, right? And so my favorite YouTuber of all time, his name is Bear Pig. And the reason I like Bear Pig so much is because I like people who aren't like me. I like people who are opposite of me. My wife is, you'd meet her, when I first met her, she was the most quiet person I ever met. She didn't really talk to me for like dates, but the personality gelled with me because it's different, and I appreciate the silence, and I appreciate the control and the calmness in those people. And a lot of times the quiet people are the most intelligent people because they talk less and they think more, right? A complete opposite of who I am as a person. And so I would watch Bear Pig every day, and I watched a video of his, and he said, today marks the 365th day of posting a YouTube video every day without fail. It created this light bulb in my head. And I was like, oh my God, that's the answer. I have to make a video. It's not easy, but it's simple. I said, I got to make a video every day without failing. I could do that. And so for the next year, I made a video every single day without fail. It didn't matter if it took me until 2 a.m. to make the video, and then I had to work in that cheese factory at 5 a.m. I would then go to work on 3 hours of sleep because Bear Pig said so. He didn't tell me this, but told me from his success, right? It's that whole cliche saying of like leaving clues. I'm watching somebody be successful, so I was like, that he's telling me to do this. I have to do this. And so Bear Pig doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know my channel. It's why you have to watch people who are successful and are doing something that you want come into the channel and they criticize you, right? And it's like, if Bear Pig criticized me, he's somebody I would take advice from, so I'll take his criticism. Any person who's a hater or people that are just talking crap, you wouldn't take advice from them, so I'm not going to take the bullshit that they say seriously. The only thing that I would say is I've made 1,000 videos. There's people who are so much more successful after 50 videos. And the reason that they're more successful than I ever was after 1,000 videos is because they worked on their skills more. They would make the cake, taste the cake, and they'd be like, that tastes like shit. I got to go back to the drawing board. I kept making the same shitty cake every day, and I was like, I'm just going to keep making the same cake, and people will like the cake. They'll like it eventually if I just make it every day. And that's not the case. And so after the 1,000th video, I started coming up with an idea, and I asked myself, people ask, like, what should I do? Should I do this or should I do that? And I asked myself, I was like, okay, not giving up. If it takes me 3 more years, I'm going to keep doing it because I know this is it. I know people might think I'm crazy and I don't make any money and they might think I'm a loser. I believe in me. You know, I believe I've got something. I don't know what the it is, but I've got it and I feel it in my heart. And I was like, what do I got? What do I have? And I was like, I ride a unicycle. I was like, all I got. And I started making videos riding a unicycle and then people caught on. And then that's where people will be like, the guy got lucky. No, I suffered for years, dude, until I did something that was worthwhile to people. And it worked, I guess. You know, here we are, but my day-to-day just doesn't change. I wake up, I spend time with my wife from 5:30 until 7:20. I do the stream from 7:30 till 10 a.m. I go work the side business that gives me enough income to where I can come back at 2 o'clock. I can edit from 2 to 5. And then I spend time with my family, my wife, and I go to sleep, and then I do it again. It might be boring to some people, but that's what I do every day. And so it's simple, but it's not easy. But we're not done, right? When I make a video, this is the mindset that I have moving forward, and this is going to be the segue into the stream today. I give myself a small amount of indulgence. You know, give myself a little bit of indulgence. I make the video, I watch it one time, I go, well, that's nice. And then I post the video and I move on. Don't dwell on the minor success, right? Because like, granted, I appreciate the 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. This is just a mindset thing for me. It doesn't matter. If I start making videos or I stop making videos, everything we've done doesn't matter. Next. Oh, that's a nice video. Next. That's a nice, next. Move on. The moment I'm done with the video, I move on to the next one because it's a job and it's my job and I love my job. It doesn't take much. The last thing I'm going to say is you don't have to have everything, right? This is a $25 headset. I'm a YouTuber with over 100,000 subscribers and I record videos with a $25 headset, you guys. Right here. I got my first PC off of a Best Buy credit card when I couldn't even afford a $1,000 computer. Telling me you need all this fancy, you're just yourself an obstacle and a reason that it's not real. You know, Gary Vee is a guy, he says the same all the time, but we love him for it. And he would tell you that you could do anything for an income. You could do anything for a job, right? I'm a goddamn unicyclist playing a video game. He's right. He wasn't wrong, you know? All right, I've ranted enough. That was a long time in the making. I had some things I had to get off my chest, and I hope that was helpful. Thank you guys for all the support. I appreciate you guys, and I love the One Wheel Army. I appreciate you guys. I am going to put this back in here, though. I'm hanging this up somewhere nice.